With the Woodards. I am your host for this evening, Craig Woodard Sr., and this is episode 65 of Etcetera, and we have a special show for you tonight. Can't wait to get into this, but I want to start off our show this evening talking about a huge day for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday, February 23rd. I want to take you guys back to February 23rd, 2018. That is the day that the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay was born. Yes, it was. And we are super excited to be celebrating our 8th anniversary or birthday, however you want to look at it. But it is a special day. 8 years we have been grinding down here in Tampa, Florida, advocating for um, children and individuals blessed with Down syndrome, that extra chromosome. As you all know, my son Craig Jr. was blessed with Down syndrome back in 2014. He's going to be 12 this year, and he is doing fantastic. As you guys see him on Facebook in the morning times doing the wake up song, the Ricky Smiley wake up song. He loves it, man. He loves music. He's very talented. He just made the honor roll for the second straight semester here in sixth grade, and a lot of our individuals blessed with Down syndrome are doing simply fantastic down here in the 8 years that I've been involved with DSAT-B. So, huge day tomorrow. We always obviously take donations. If you guys feel like contributing to DSAT-B, you can go to our website and click on the donate button to kind of help out, because we offer all of our classes and programs and services. Everything is obviously free. We were able to expand this year. We had been running our 321 art class for the last, this is year 5 right now that we're in, and that's actually sponsored by Hillsborough County. We got a grant to cover some of the costs for the class. We still have to obviously fund some of it, but we were able to expand and go across the bridge over to St. Pete, and we do have a 321 art class in Pinellas County now as well, and it is going fantastic. They've been averaging 5 to 7 students over there per class. We have it twice a month over here in Hillsborough County, and we usually run it once a month over in Pinellas County. So we're doing some great things. We have our largest fundraiser is going to start off. Registration opens up tomorrow for our Down the Bowl 5. Our Vice President Drew Garabo, radio host of 102.5 The Bones, Drew Garabo Live. The sales team puts this on, and they do a fantastic job. Registration will open tomorrow. That is going to be on March 21st, which happens to be World Down Syndrome Day. So stay tuned to my Facebook page and social media, and I will be sharing the registration link, and you guys can get your lanes taken up and everything. Hey, just as a success, we've raised more money every single year, and last year in Down the Bowl 4, we raised over $30,000. So hopefully this year we can beat that and have a fantastic day. We will be giving out our second Brian P. Kelly Down the Bowl Championship trophy. I already have it. It is gorgeous. It looks great. And his fiance, Allison Brader, will be handing that to the champion this year as well. So a lot going on for the Down Syndrome Association in Tampa Bay. And we really, really appreciate all of the support over the years. I could not have done it without my board of directors. I want to name them. Of course, my wife, Christine Woodard. You got Kelly Taylor, Robert Taylor, Ricky Vanderpaw. You got Mercedes Anderson. She also is our 321 art class teacher. We got Todd Van Auken, Julie Hilson, and of course, Sarah Battaglia, who has her own nonprofit, Dancing for a Difference, and she is our dance instructor, and she holds classes every Saturday for us that we take care of the fee for. So Wonderful group right there. Love them to death. Appreciate everything that they bring to the table for us. And tomorrow we are celebrating our 8 year anniversary for DSATB. Thank you guys so much. Okay, on to business. As the Keystone Change Alliance continues to reach out to people involved in other national cases, we have our second one tonight. I'm going to bring in our national activist here, Leah Ficklin. We bring her on really quick, and she is going to talk about a case that everybody has heard. This case was back in 2013 involving KJ, Kendrick Johnson. Leah, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
You're welcome. Salute, 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 brother. You're welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Can you? I want to get kind of right into it. You've been advocating for a number of different families. You've been advocating for the Johnson family for quite some time. Um, please tell my audience what happened on that day.
Okay, so it happened actually on January the 10th. Um, from my understanding, and from me speaking with the family, some of the family, I don't really speak to all. And also, reading and the reports and the cases, stuff like that. He was supposed to come home from school on January the 10th, but he did not
Okay.
come home from school. He missed his 10 o'clock p.m. curfew. Panic set
Mm,
in. Mom called the police around a little after 12 o'clock midnight. The police were nonchalant, stating to some effect that he's probably out with some fast tail girl. Didn't really take it serious, but they did send a patrol car out, they say, allegedly. I mean, they say, I don't believe it, to
right.
look for him, but
Mm,
did not find him. So the next morning, um, the mom, Miss Johnson, went to the school
mhm.
and, reported, she reported him missing. And while she was at the school, in my opinion, there was a botched, I'm going to say allegedly, a fake and planned out, non spontaneous body discovery in the gym at about 10:30 a.m. in the morning, where I believe, I'm just putting my opinion out there. It's alleged. It
Right.
has not been
Hmm.
proven as facts. But me
Okay.
looking at the evidence, me analyzing the records, I believe certain people were chosen to allegedly discover Kendrick's body. So these
Mm,
individuals did discover his body by climbing on mats. The first people that discovered his body were two sisters by the last name of Taylor, and guess who's their father? The school superintendent is their father. So they allegedly were
wow.
climbing on the mats and to lay down while class was in session. While class was in session,
Mm,
no teacher will allow kids to climb on mats and go to sleep. So no, I
right.
don't believe that. But anyway, one of them said that she looked down in the mat and saw feet and socks sticking out from the mat. So she called over a coach by the name of Philip Peplo, and other students came and they began to pull the mats down. And when they got to
Okay.
the mat that Kendrick was in, he reached up, grabbed the mat, pulled it down. His body slipped out. Some students say when the mat was pulled down, his feet and legs were hanging out. The others say that it was his head hanging out, and they immediately smelled decomposition and knew that he was deceased.
Wow.
Immediately called 911, and the in my opinion, the act began. So that's basically what
Okay.
happened
Okay.
on that day.
Wow. Um, so it occurred on the 10th. He did not come home on the 10th. They
Hmm.
strategically found his body on the 11th.
Correct.
Um,
In the school gym.
Amazing. Now, I obviously was doing some research as well, and I saw one of the pictures you had of from the autopsy of his face, and there was
Mhm.
clearly bruising all
Yes.
on his face. So
Yeah.
the cause of death they said was a asphyxiation, but yet
Mhm.
there was trauma that was determined by an independent investigation that was done. Correct,
Correct.
and
Correct.
that actually meant nothing because the case was dropped by the Department of Justice.
Right. Well, they actually didn't really just drop the case. It was insufficient
Yeah,
evidence to um
right.
to prosecute. And that's because they destroyed the evidence. You know, they destroyed his organs after the first autopsy. That included his clothes, that included his fingernails, that included every organ in his body, including his tongue, was destroyed. And there's a lie that went on, and that's what my most recent video that I just posted today, because I got the FBI file part one. I'm waiting on part two and
Hmm.
three. And the doctor that performed the first autopsy, her name is Dr. Marianne Gaffney Kraft. That is her name.
Okay.
Um, she she sworn in a sworn affidavit and sworn testimony that she put Kendrick's organs back into his chest cavity and put the chest
Okay.
plate back on and sent the organs to the funeral home. Well, the funeral home didn't get the
Okay.
organs. Now, the mistake the funeral home made was they did not inform the Johnsons that the organs were not with the body. Okay.
Okay.
However, the death investigator that was in the autopsy room with her, she forgot to give him the message because he told the coroner, Bill Watson, that they did dispose of the organs due to advanced
Okay.
decomposition. But how were they
Uh,
decompose that much when you clearly you weighed them, you took samples from them, you were able to investigate them and analyze them, so they were not. And I'm looking at the
right.
organs. I have the autopsy photos. I have all of them. There were no it was no advanced decomposition on his organs at all. There was no
Okay.
reason to destroy them. Well, it was a reason, but there's no legal reason to destroy them. The reason
Mm,
that they wanted to destroy them is to hide his true cause of death and to hide his true time of death. That is the only reason why they destroyed his organs, his fingernails, and even his clothing. So, when
wow.
Dr. William Anderson did the second and third autopsy, they didn't think that he would be able to find, what happened to Kendrick because they
Mm,
had destroyed his organs. Well, he cut into
right.
the body and found hemorrhaging
Okay.
on the right side of his neck, jaw, and upper chest. And that's how he found that he passed away due to blunt force trauma.
Okay. Okay. So there is factual evidence that he had blunt force trauma,
Hmm.
and of course you can see that something happened when
Yes.
you look at the picture of his face. You know,
Right.
um, I want to let me see. I want to see if I can share my screen real quick. I want to share a video that you have on your page from the surveillance camera from the high school
Okay.
that is narrated, and I think this really kind of helps paint a little bit of a picture. Let me see if I can get this shared.
Oh yeah, the plot.
January 10th, 2013, Kendrick Johnson walks into the Lone County High School gym, only to never be seen and heard from again. He walked into the gym alone, but that's not what the video evidence shows. On January 11th, 2013, Kendrick Johnson was found deceased in the gym at Lone County High School in a vertical standing, rolled up gym mat upside down and head first. The kids notice Kendrick is approaching the gym. Then what happens next appears to be an item handed off to the Caucasian kid in the red shirt. The kid in all black walks away because he knows what is about to go down. Next, the white kid in the red shirt enters the gym right before Kendrick. Family, now I want you to watch it again. Next, the black kid in white shirt, shorts, and red backpack relays the message to the kid waiting in the bathroom and said, "Come on, it's about to go down." The black kid in the striped shirt exits the bathroom, and the last three kids walked into the gym after Kendrick to either watch or participate. Family, what do you think they handed to the kid in the red shirt?
Yeah. For
Such such a sad off of that for me.
okay, so for years, for many years, 13 to be exact, the world was under the guise that this was a racially motivated crime. Um, I'm beginning to believe, just by based off some surveillance footage, that it was more than one race that colluded
Yeah,
to allegedly do what they did to Kendrick, whether it was to lure him into the gym or watch or bet. I'm not sure, but obviously something was going on in that hallway. Something was going on in that hallway, right? When he was going
right.
into the gym. You see kids passing things
Hmm.
off to the Caucasian kid in the red shirt. You see actually I did make a mistake. I blew the picture up. The kid that was in the bathroom, he looked black, but when you blow it up,
Yes.
he's actually Hispanic. He's Hispanic, but the other two
Okay.
were black. So all
Okay.
races, in my opinion, were involved with at least the setup of what happened. I'm not
Right.
saying for a fact that they were
Right.
involved in the crime, but I will say that if he went into that gym, and he did, and he was never seen again, it happened in that gym, and
Right.
people were in the gym. We can obviously see people
Right.
in the gym, or we can obviously see people just trying to taunt him while he was walking, and
Yeah.
Kendrick wasn't a scary kid. He wasn't a scary kid. He was
Hmm.
going to do whatever he was going to do by himself, and he did it. And
Right.
it's just
Right.
sad that people were there, people know, and people are not speaking. So that's basically what I found in that video by slowing it down. Me and another
Yeah.
lady that I work with, an investigator,
That
a forensic.
I mean, I really believe that that is compelling evidence to further investigate. Like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand why this piece of evidence is not enough because you can clearly see, and I watched it a couple times, and I love the narration, and that helped a little bit. But
Yeah.
when the black kid with the white shirt and the backpack saw KJ coming towards
Yeah.
him, he immediately
Right.
stopped,
Yep.
planted, went back to the left and handed this white kid something.
Yep.
And we don't know what it was, but
Right.
you can tell that um, him spotting KJ
Right.
meant something. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And so, whatever happened in that gym, we know what the outcome was.
Right.
Not saying that these kids had anything to do with it or if they
Right.
watched or participated. We don't know that part of it. But
Right.
the fact that this surveillance camera shows the pictures of KJ, the last pictures of
Yeah.
KJ,
Yeah.
that's something
Yeah.
else.
And then
Um,
the kid that's in the bathroom. Why are you hiding from
yes,
KJ? Why are you hiding from
right.
KJ?
And it comes out after he passes the bathroom.
Correct.
Um, I'm at a loss for words. If you can, because I don't know if you saw it. When I'm trying to get the picture in my head, how the mat was rolled up. Now, are they saying that the mat was vertical and
That's a
he was upside down in the mat?
that's what they say, but that's a lie, and we debunked that. There's research on my page where we proved that it was never vertical. It was
Okay,
always horizontal. But at
on the
best, he
floor.
was on the floor. At best, he was propped
Right.
up. He was never
Okay.
completely upside down in that mat. If you would go to
Okay.
the research on my page, you will see the blood pattern on the mat. If he was
Okay.
upside
Okay.
down in the mat, the blood pattern would be all the way around the mat evenly because he's upside down, right? There would be
Right.
mat prints and blood on the
Right.
floor when they tip the mat over. There are no mat
Right.
prints there. Okay. What you see is blood's on half the mat. That's because he was laying horizontal.
Mhm.
At best, he was propped up against another mat. Yes,
Gotcha.
and the blood
Gotcha.
drained sideways. It only drained on half the mat because he wasn't standing upright, upside down. So no. And here's the thing: I want people to understand
Yes.
when I say this, it wasn't a racially um, charged crime in the beginning or
Motivated. Yeah.
motivated. Yes, but everything that
Gotcha.
happened in KJ's case was racially motivated. Every step
I got you.
afterwards was
Gotcha.
racially motivated. So let's not,
Okay.
and it's because it was allegedly some white boys that were involved, and their father is now a retired FBI agent. But at that time, he was a FBI agent. So everything that happened after was definitely race. Okay.
Amazing.
And what
Um,
what I learned about our people in history is that you often find some black people that are willing to go against our own race to assist the
mm,
white people in
yeah.
lynching us. And it still
Right.
happens today. And that's probably what we're looking at in the hallway. An assist. Don't know
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
state for
It's
fact.
possible. It's
Only can
possible.
speculate. Yeah.
Right.
So
Um, just asking questions here. Do Do you know if his parents have made the claim that he had a few enemies at the school that maybe were picking on him or bullying him or anything like that?
yes, there is another video on my page where you will see Brian Bell, the son of the FBI agent at the time,
Okay. Hmm.
bullying KJ in the lunch line. I slowed it
Wow.
down so you can see it. Another kid that was standing in front of KJ reached down into his shoe, took something out of his shoe, handed it to Brian Bell. Brian Bell walked over, away, turned around, came behind KJ and pushed him and then went
Wow.
to the back of the room. So yes, yes, and
So,
I believe that the father and mom did um, report to the school, and the school didn't do anything
okay.
about the
Okay.
bullying.
Um, was there any other video provided besides this? Were there any other angles and any other cameras that were inside of the gym, outside of the shot that we saw?
There were cameras. It's like 64 cameras there. Yeah, It's just that the videos were, in my opinion, allegedly tampered with and deleted.
Mm,
I mean, they're choppy. They're everywhere. I don't have
right.
the full surveillance footage. I did get the FBI file part one, and I've
Okay.
requested part two and part three, which should include the footage.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just have not gotten those yet.
Has anyone else reviewed that? I mean, of course, the FBI has reviewed that already, correct?
Yes, but his father was an FBI agent at that
So we
time.
don't know if you're going to get accurate
Well,
footage when it gets to you, right?
correct. Now here's the thing: people say, "Oh, there's no evidence." The FBI, the DOJ, they all investigated. It was an accident. But what people are not doing is reading between the lines. At one point, there were search warrants, federal search warrants, that went to the homes of Rick Bell, Ryan Hall. Those are the three kids that the two families that were, the kids were involved. Taylor
Okay.
Eakin, which was is Brian Bell's wife today, and Aaliyah Griffin, and confiscated electronics and phones. If there is no
Okay.
evidence, a judge would not sign off on warrants. People don't know how to apply critical thinking. It has to
Right.
be evidence for a judge to
Hmm.
sign off on a federal warrant. So there was evidence. It's just that
Hmm.
they destroyed the most critical evidence, so it wasn't enough to prosecute. That's the problem. That's where we are.
The,
They never said
the incriminating
it
evidence.
wasn't foul play. Right. They never said
Okay.
it wasn't foul play.
Right.
So,
Um, can you take me back in the story here? I want to clear it up um, for our audience here. You know, we talked about KJ being found in the rolled up mat.
mhm.
I believe it had to do with his shoes. What was he doing with his shoes? They stored their shoes in there or something like that?
There were kids that said they did store their shoes in the mat because people were stealing them. But they didn't go
Okay.
inside the mat to get their shoes. They tipped the mat.
Right.
And
Okay.
several students said that. But those statements were ignored. They only grasped a hold of the fact that some kids stored their shoes inside the mat and ignoring the part where they said they didn't go inside the mat to get it. They just tipped the mat
Mhm.
over to get it, which
Gotcha.
is what he would have did. Okay.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so there was one black shoe that, okay, I'm going to say alleged. The DOJ allegedly said the shoe was obviously planted under his head.
Okay.
It doesn't have any blood on it. So how are you upside down in the mat bleeding and there's no blood on this shoe? And then his other shoes are neatly, the ones that he had on, the white ones are neatly tucked behind his buttocks and his knees. Neatly tucked, like somebody put them there. Well, we know somebody put them there.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, all of it
Wow.
craziness.
The petition. I signed the petition. I shared it on my socials
Thank you.
today. That petition is to reopen the case. Am I correct?
Yes, there is an ongoing case right now. What the
Okay.
family, what they need, what we all need, in
Yeah.
Kendrick's case, is a special prosecutor, independent special prosecutor with no connections to Georgia. They cannot
Right.
investigate themselves and think that they're going to tell on themselves. They're not going to do that. It's too many people
Right.
and city officials, school officials, law enforcement, too many people involved for them to even flip on themselves. It has to be an independent special prosecutor that has no connections to Lowndes County, Valdosta, Georgia, that comes in and investigates, does a
Yeah.
proper investigation. So that's what they are fighting for right now. That's what the
And you
petition
know,
is.
when I went on to sign, there were a lot of signatures on that
Yes.
petition, and I'm sure it's going to grow and get larger and larger. So everyone out there, please go to my Facebook page. You can go to Leah's Facebook page as well, and sign this petition. Share this petition, and let's try to do what we can to help get this special prosecutor to prosecute this particular case. Um, Leah, anything else that you want us to know about Kendrick's case, or any information that we're missing here?
Well, it's just a botched investigation. They didn't do any investigation at
Yeah.
all. He was clearly murdered. Um,
Hmm.
in fact, the then sheriff, Chris Prime, was investigating it as a murder. That was his first thought. What changed your mind, Sheriff
Okay.
Prime? Why did you
Right.
change it so quickly from a murder investigation to a, oh, it's an accident and sweep it up under the rug? Why? So the EMT reports, they noted there was bruising and everybody saw. I mean, I'm looking at the picture, so you can tell. I mean, there's bruises all over his body, to be honest. It's not just his
Hmm.
face, it's everywhere. Um, he was
Right.
murdered, and then we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop until they hear us. We're not going to stop until we are granted that independent special prosecutor and that KJ gets the justice that that he deserves, basically, because his mother and his father and his entire family went into panic mode on January the 10th and never, ever, ever had a chance to get over it, get past it, or even begin to mourn. They were in fight mode
Right.
since the very first day he went missing, and it's been 13 years that these parents and his family have been fighting for their child, for their voices to be heard, and to just begin
Hmm.
to mourn their child. They can't
Right.
when they constantly
Yeah.
are being uh, told to shut up, told they're crazy, shunned, and all this stuff in their own city, only because the cover up actually involves both races. That's why it was so tight.
Right.
If it was
Yeah.
if it was just the white against black, it would have been a whole
Mhm.
uprising in that city.
Right.
It'd have been Black
Absolutely.
Lives Matter all it was actually before Ferguson. It would have been Ferguson.
Hmm.
But since you
Hmm.
see colored kids with white kids, and yes, guys, I'm black, okay? I said color, whatever. With white kids, the families are tight-lipped because their kids are involved. So there is
Yeah.
no uprising. It's a hush
Right.
thing going on. So if you want to learn more about the case, I have evidence posted all down my page. I mean, I break down everything today. I broke down the missing organs, the steps, the lies that were told, everything what the FBI file says versus what sworn testimony says by the Dr. Marianne Gaffney Craft. I mean, I try to break it down little by little. Each discrepancy, each lie is my
Hmm.
focus. To show the world that this whole case was botched. This whole case, all
Yeah.
of them were lying. Nobody was telling the truth. If they were,
Right.
why is everybody's story different? So,
Yeah. Yeah. We with my cousin's case, we started a group of people that just kind of hopped off the porch and said we got to do something, and we
yes.
wanted to give a name so that people could know who they were talking to when it came down to networking and stuff. So we had
Hmm.
coined ourselves the Justice for Cello Coalition. We have now rebranded our name. Same people, same
Hmm.
grit, same work, and we are now the Keystone Change Alliance.
All right.
And so we're advocating and being activists for my cousin and doing a lot of work as an
Hmm.
activist for the Johnson family. I want you to
Hmm.
talk about your role and how involved that you are in this as an activist, and how much the Johnson family appreciates all of the legwork that you've put into this over the course of this time.
Okay. I would like to first say that I am. This is my first time ever digging into a case. When I
Wow.
Now I did, lives and research on cases like Darian Seals, a lot of people,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
on my YouTube you can find, but not in depth research like I have with KJ. It was just something about
Yeah.
KJ's case that made me, stick with it. I just couldn't put my finger on it. And then when I began to get the information, I began to see the lies and I began to find the errors. That's how I became involved, heavily involved. Basically, my
Yeah.
role and my goal
Hmm.
is to show the world how corrupt that law enforcement officials, school officials, city officials can be. They can lie to our faces. They will collude to cover up anything, and they expect us to
Yeah.
believe everything that they say. But my goal
Hmm.
is to just show the world through the paperwork, through the evidence, through the picture, the lie that they've been telling us for 13 years. That's it. Until I shake some trees, and I have because I've been getting threats
Yep.
until somebody comes
Hmm.
forward. I believe they will because I've been getting threats until somebody breaks.
Hmm.
I will because I've been
Yeah.
getting threats. So I believe that somebody's breaking.
Yep.
I believe that somebody's ready to speak. And I believe that somebody is going to come forward. So that is my only goal. Justice for KJ. And our KJ's does have a, I don't know what you call it because I'm really not a real activist. I mean, that's not how I view myself, but I guess I've become one unknowns to me. But
Yes, you have. Absolutely.
it's KJ's Army. I had no idea that's what the
Yes.
path God was going to lead me on. I never did this.
None of us did.
No, no, and
Yep.
and I,
We're in the same boat. None of us knew what this was going to lead to, you know?
no, I didn't. But I have people that want me to help them. I have people on hold. I'm like, I only can work on this case because this is the case that God has given me right now. But just give me a moment. And I do. I
Yeah.
talk about their cases too on my page. Don't get me wrong. But I don't go in
Yeah.
depth because I'm stuck. My heart's in
Yeah.
Kendrick Johnson's case. That's where it's at. That's where my spirit is connected. And so I have to do that
Yeah.
job until the end, until justice is here. And then I will be able to help others.
Does the family know how crucial it is to have activists work on their behalf so that they can try to possibly mourn as much as they can? I know they don't have the closure that they're looking for, but to for them not to have to do as much legwork as you're doing, um, that's got to be a good feeling on behalf of the family.
I would imagine so. I don't really ask them a lot of questions or nothing like that because I want to find things on my
Yeah,
own and I tell them what I
yeah,
discover. And a lot of the questions, what I try not to do is dig up pain or pick at pain.
yes,
So I'm very careful
yes,
with our conversations. I'm pretty sure they do. I mean,
yeah,
they say thank you all the time. We speak, often,
yeah,
but I try not to
yeah,
pick at personal things. I try
yeah,
to just tell them the good news. Hey, I found this lie. Look what they did. I found this. They messed up here. They
yeah.
messed up there. And they messed up here. So they're just collecting,
Right.
what I've discovered, and the other young lady that I work with, Kaylee, discovers. And then we're waiting on discovery in their ongoing lawsuit that they have open right now. They do have a
Yep.
lawsuit open right now, and they're trying to get to discovery. And they will get to discovery. I
Okay.
believe it. I know it. I know they're going to get to
Yeah.
discovery. And once they get to discovery, they can present all the discrepancies, all the evidence, and all the questions. And then that's when justice is going to come. So they
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And we appreciate you too because you have a huge platform, and I see the work that you put in to fighting for justice for KJ. And
Thank you.
groups like ours, the Keystone Change Alliance, we look up to your the work that you've put in, and a lot of other um, people around the country that have put in
Mm,
a lot of work to try to fight for justice. We're all in the same boat.
yeah.
I want to say, God bless you.
Thank you.
Um, Keep fighting the fight, and you now have another group that's supporting you guys. We'll be sharing a lot of stuff now that we follow each other. We're friends on Facebook, and
Yes.
yeah, anytime I see something that you're putting on there, I'm gonna put it on mine. And there's power in numbers,
Yes.
and there's power in prayer
Yes.
as well.
Amen.
And we got your back. We got the Johnsons back. Um, I want to say thank you for joining me tonight and
Thank
sharing
you for having.
KJ's story with our audience. Absolutely. And if there's anything else that you need, you please let me know. Okay, Leah?
Salute. Amen. And thank you for
Thank you.
having me.
Thank you.
And God bless you, brother.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you. God bless you as well.
Have,
All right. I'm going to let you go and then I'll wrap up the show. Thank you, Leah.
thank you. All right. Bye bye.
Yes. Wow. What a great, great interview with Leah Ficklin. Super advocate, super activist. It's funny. We're in the same boat. We with the Keystone Change Alliance have been doing the same thing. We jumped off the porch. We said, "Hey, we got to do something," and we just kind of got to work so that the family didn't have that burden on uh, their plate. And I can speak on behalf of my cousin Sonny, um, Marcello's father. You know, he appreciates all the work that we're putting in, and we are in it to win it and fight this thing to the end. And our case, we're at day 65 with Kevin Seelinger being locked up as we await trial in that particular case. But when you do visit my page, please look for any stories that involve Kendrick Johnson. And when you see anything on there pertaining to him, please make sure that you put some comments on there, share. Please sign that petition so that we can see if we can get a special prosecutor to actually prosecute that case. That's very important. The evidence is overwhelming, and some of this stuff just doesn't make sense. And like she said, the police can't police the police, so you need a special prosecutor to come in and make some of these hard decisions. And I'm hoping and praying that this is the case so that we can bring justice to this family, the Johnson family, because they definitely do deserve it. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. This was a big interview, and Leah was feeling a little bit under the weather. She didn't want to go on camera tonight, but I was blessed that she still joined me with her presence and her voice and shared Kendrick's story with us. Okay, we're going to continue to bring you some outstanding cases here and talk to some people that are heavily involved going forward. We got a lot of work to do, people. We got a lot of work to do. The system is corrupt. It's got to change, and it takes people to speak out against what people say is the truth in order to get the real truth, because these things happen, cover-ups happen, and it's happening in the case of Kendrick Johnson. So we're going to have another guest, I believe Wednesday night around 7:30. I'm confirming that one as well. That story hails out of Tampa Bay. I will be letting you know about that. But keep tuning in. We're going to have outstanding content for you going forward. You can check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and on my YouTube channel, Etcetera with the Woodards. Please keep following the Keystone Change Alliance as well as we fight for justice for Cello, and we continue to fight for justice for Teron Evans Jr. as well as Kendrick Johnson. For Leah Ficklin, I'm Craig Woodard. Good night. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you this Wednesday.